Hello, and welcome to another World of UX podcast. I'm your host, Darren Hood. Thanks for taking the time to join us today. And a special welcome those of you that are listening or watching the podcast for the very first time. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. We're going to dive right in, and I'm going to share part 2 of the combo Ask Me Anything Talking Shop session with my guest, Susi, and Yaddy Arroyo. This is really a dynamic episode. We cover approximately 10 different topics. At minimally, I'm going to say at least 10 different topics during this particular segment. We'll play the conclusion next week, but this is really, really great. Again, always very candid, always from the hip, and we care about the community. This is not about building me. This is about helping people who really, truly, and genuinely want to develop, want to grow, want to progress in pure UX. People get mad when I say pure UX. Folks, there's pure UX and there's a cult of UX. If you're really interested in growing in UX the right way, we're going to give you some key insights that are going to help you. And no, it's not about the work. It's about everything surrounding the work in this session today. But let's not delay any further. Ready? Let's go ahead and dive right in. UX has such a phenomenal value prop, but only when we do UX. Mm-hmm. And I got to give the shout out too to this last list on this UX strategy books. Debbie Levitt's Customers Know You Suck.
It's a great book.
Great stuff. Inspired, great stuff. Jamie Levy's UX strategy book, great stuff. Articulating Design Decisions by Tom Griever. There's a lot of great stuff. I love the story. Even though it's a story that he got from somewhere else, but the hairy arms, the way that Disney used to manipulate stuff to get people to approve certain animations or certain drawings. So we don't want them to pick this version of the drawer, so we're going to make their arms hairier. And how it's unethical to do that because some people try to influence decisions by adding something they know people don't want. So that kind of stuff. So a lot of strategic stuff. My strategic masterclass that I deliver for South Africa is on YouTube. It's got hundreds of views. But we are strategists. And it's if we lose strategy, UX loses its superpower.
Why do you think some leaders want to hire people that can't critically think?
They don't.
And I say leaders in quotes.
Yeah, they don't understand what UX is. I mean, I just did another show with somebody else where I ranted about that for about 10, 15 minutes. When people who don't know what UX are left to make hiring decisions for UX, they don't know it or don't respect it, then that UX operation is doomed because they're the ones that are going to give somebody. I did an episode on that. Man, did some people come after me with the pitchforks and the torches because what do you mean you shouldn't give us a chance? I heard Peyton Manning, the Hall of Fame quarterback, talk about, I think the owner of the Indianapolis Colts just passed away too, I think in the last month. And he referred to them drafting him as giving him a chance. Peyton Manning was a dynamite football player. Mm-hmm. Why would he use, and this is to make people think, why would he use the terminology, give him a chance? Because giving somebody a chance was not about taking somebody that wasn't qualified and putting them in a position to do something that they weren't equipped to do. It was about taking somebody that was equipped to doing something and putting them in something that they actually qualified for, but there's a bunch of people competing for that spot. So you got it. You qualified, but you got it. You're getting your chance. People are redefining what it means to give somebody a chance. And now they're putting unqualified people in positions and roles they're not qualified for so that they can, that's why Fake It Till You Make It is so popular. They even have this new animated film and they even have it in the advertising. Elio, sometime you gotta fake it till you make it. And now they're popularizing and normalizing something that's actually dysfunctional. They're normalizing dysfunction. You earn, you go and get a degree, you go and do whatever, so that you can tell somebody you're qualified and then you get your chance.
Yeah.
Not giving chances to people that don't get it. Because what happened is they gave somebody a chance, and now that person gives somebody a chance, and now that's all anybody's doing right now. Is giving somebody a chance, and the truly qualified people are on the outside looking in, watching the disintegration of the discipline. That's dysfunctional. That doesn't make any sense. So,
well, I have an even more like cynical view. I think they hire people on purpose so that they don't challenge them.
Yeah,
Do what
that's
you're
I
the
told.
think
other
so
part.
too. Yeah, yeah.
That's the other
Control
part.
and power. Yeah,
Yep. They're afraid. A leader with an inferiority complex is only a leader on business card.
Yep.
They're not a leader in function. When I was going, and I'm going to call this company out. I don't always do this, but I'm doing it today. I interviewed for a manager role at Bed Bath & Beyond a few years ago. And things always go great with screeners. So like, don't get excited, folks, when you talk to a screening or recruiter and they put you through a screening. Man, we had a great conversation. You're going to.
Yep.
That's their job. That's the Pollyanna level communication. It's talking to the recruiter. They're always going to make you feel great. They don't want to leave a sour taste in your mouth about the company either. So that's going to happen. Everything is great. I loved the brand. I loved Bed Bath. This is right before they went into bankruptcy, by the way. So I got saved from. I dodged a bullet. I dodged a missile. The manager decides to not move me forward, and I already knew why. And I go and I look up. I knew who he was. I looked up their information on. This is a 2-part story too. I look up their information on LinkedIn, which you should, folks. If you're going to interview with somebody, go and look them up. Find out their history. Because frankly, if you interview with a person who sort of got that role, that UX leadership role, through God knows what kinds of means, if you are the more experienced people have to pull teeth to get those jobs. A lot of times you're going to be overlooked because they are threatened by you.
Yeah.
That person, I found out that person only had 10 years of experience and should not have been in that role. So that's part one of that story. So that's why I didn't move on. And the excuse was, they called me, I'm sorry, Darren, I thought you were perfect for this. Those conversations. Yeah, because he said that he didn't want to move forward because you didn't have any e-commerce experience.
Oh.
What? I was at the beginning of, what do you mean? I've built e-commerce sites.
I was at the beginning.
I built e-commerce sites from the ground up. Yeah. We didn't talk about e-commerce. That wasn't a part of the screening process.
Yep.
It was an excuse.
It was an excuse.
Yep.
Man, this guy is what? He's got 1 master's degree. What? 2 master's? What? PhD camp. It wanted nothing to do with me, and failed to see. I just love what I do.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to come in and take over. Like, I can become the director if I. That's not, no.
A lot of people are worried about that, though. Yeah.
You know why?
Yep.
Because that's what they would do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you find out something about. You have to do whatever you can to find out about a leader and what they really are. Because I've seen leaders, they go out of their way. It's self-preservation. I had one former leader. I don't know anything about UX. Almost every time I talk to him, I don't know anything about UX. And then when everything hit the fan and you found out, I thought that was okay. He doesn't know about UX. My best boss ever didn't know anything about UX. But he knew to get out of my way.
Yeah.
Well,
he knew how to lead.
He knew how to lead. Yes.
Yeah.
He knew how to lead.
That's the difference.
So the fact, and he was very emotionally intelligent. Yes. So the fact that he didn't know UX, he knew enough to, Darren, I'm handing this over to you.
He respected the discipline and your talent. Yep.
And so we were good. And he wasn't a slave to the isms.
Yeah.
Racism, sexism, ageism, none of the isms. And so we were good. But other ones, oh God. The second part of that story, the Bed Bath & Beyond story, they eventually had to lay off their team. I didn't realize I was connected to this guy. And
Oh.
I didn't realize I was connected to him. And he ended up, when he's tried, some of these people, we got to lay our people off. And if you need some good UX people, I recommend all of them. So he tagged all of them.
Oh.
So, and this is about a year and a half after. So I go in, I look at everybody's profile.
To find out who hired.
And he made sure not to hire anybody that was a threat to him.
Wow.
It was a team full of entry-level people. Which
is, in retrospect, probably pretty predictable, right?
Predictable, counterproductive.
Risky.
Yeah. For every dollar you invest in UX,
real UX,
you get X in return. But it must be real UX. If it's not real UX, all bets are off, and the ROI is out the window. Right. Matter of fact, not only do you not get the return on investment, it starts to cost you.
Yep, because silly, stupid mistakes are done.
Yep.
Actually, I find it so much harder to work with entry-level people, if only because they're not the same entry-level people from a couple of years back. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's arrogance or if it's like me. Actually, I think it might be me. I'm becoming a curmudgeon. I can't teach anymore. I'm done.
I doubt that.
You have a certain level of expectation. Your expectation, I already know what your expectations are. And I would say that you're right. Posers, retrofits, and upstarts can happen at any seniority level.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what I've learned from you.
A lot of people getting into UX for all the wrong reasons. And that's when you experience what you experience. If they're just here for a check, if they're just here because it was easy. I worked at a company once, another crazy story. I worked at a company once, and this was in their instructional design, their training department. They kept hiring former baristas from Starbucks. And I found out, I'm like, wow. Literally, you would meet like 10, 15, 20 of these people, and 18 of them were former baristas. They were going back and telling their other baristas, you should come here and become a trainer. So it's not just, what I'm getting at, this is not just UX, this is any discipline. No love for training, no desire to help level people up. None. None. No respect, no understanding for education.
Mm-hmm.
But being a trainer at a big wig company pays a whole lot more than being a barista.
Yeah.
So they're willing to put on a mask to come in and get that check. And that same thing happens in UX. People who come in for the wrong reasons. And now everybody's got to deal with that. I was designing UX courses at that company. And they wanted to take over the UX course. I can design this course, Darren. No, you can't. Or you can design it because, again, anybody can design anything. And what you produce will exist. That doesn't mean that it's viable.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's good.
Doesn't mean it's good.
Doesn't mean the outcome. Yeah, it doesn't mean the outcomes are valid, right?
Yep, it's garbage. If you design it, it's going to be garbage. Because I'm the only subject matter expert you've got. So.
Oh my God! So Darren, okay, again, another question because I have so many questions. Dark triad traits, right? So we've talked about like, Lou's like, narcissism, Machiavellianism, psychopathy, right? So we talked about like how some people can be annoying because they just don't have the skill set, they don't have the discipline, whatever. What if they're that, and in addition to that, they're jerks? I was gonna say another word. They're like narcissistic, psychopathic, like the Machiavellism. I've actually encountered a couple of those people where like they don't know how to do UX, but they sure know how to suck up. And they sure as hell know how to get all the good projects for themselves.
My God. You have me opening up a presentation here so I could read off of it. You just reminded me of I talk about EQ red flags.
Yes.
EQ red flags. I'm trying to find it as we speak. Because and I love Dr. Romney. And if you have not, isn't she awesome? And the way that she talks about narcissism. That's her specialization. And she will break down narcissism. And she spent one episode talking about, and this is what you made me think about this one specifically, Yaddy, narcissistic enablement. And the funny thing about narcissistic enablement is that a lot of narcissists excel at their trade. And they use their narcissism to cloak their lust to oppress people. So nobody, when you have a narcissist that is maltreating coworkers in any way, form, or fashion, the powers that be don't want to hold the narcissist accountable because they bring so much to the team. So the narcissist knows that they're doing a number on people, but nobody wants to hold them accountable because they want to lose their supposed value and what they're contributing, when the fact is they're using that as a cloak, as a means to get away with what they're doing. So how many people study what narcissistic enablement is?
Nobody.
I
didn't even know until now. I'm going to look it up afterwards.
So you have all of this stuff going on, and the narcissist is doing stuff, and they play the victim.
Yep.
They play the victim. And in the midst of playing the victim, they know when they're getting away with dirt. They know it. They absolutely know it. And so when they get away with it and somebody actually lets them off the hook, they just smile about it.
Yep.
They just smile about it and they move on, and they keep doing the dirt and they get away with it. And I've encountered a lot of people like that over the course of my career. And also, here's what's weird about this. And Yaddy, you probably expected this. Guess who they feed off of the most? And Dr. Ramani talks about this to
empaths.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So, and what kind of person excels the most at doing UX work?
Empaths.
Empaths.
Like fish in a bucket. Fish in a bucket. That's all.
Yeah, right.
We are overrun. We are overrun with psychopaths and narcissists in UX today. And because you have people who are running UX teams that are not going to hold anybody accountable for stuff, then it becomes a breeding ground for that same kind of person. And the empaths are the ones who suffer. Because if we recover from our current state, it is going to be because some empath somewhere had tremendous impact and somebody paid attention. That's going to be
or they created their own impact without having to get permission, right? I mean, I think that's kind of where we're heading, because Dr. Darren, I keep changing it up. Dr. Darren, because technically you're a professor and you're going for your doctorate. So I feel it's adequate. But I also feel that you're kind of teaching me about human behavior. You would have thought I already know this because it's psychology, right? Like that's part of our job as well. But like you're also teaching me that like being an empath can actually be a bad thing, because when we talked offline, right, you mentioned something about always doing something for the greater good of the field, of the company, of the customers. And I feel that. Like I feel that specifically coming from you. Like, yeah, he's being honest. Like I feel it. I don't feel that from other like people.
No.
At all. And they don't even say it. So they're not even lying. They're just like out for themselves, right?
Yes.
Which is frustrating for me.
Matter of fact, you want to hear a quick way? People might be interested. A quick way to spot, because usually those people they strive for UX celebritism, or they operate as a UX celebrity. But you know what else they do? They never support anything that anybody else does. It's always about their book, their talk, their whatever it is, their platform. It's never about I'm talking about the discipline.
Yeah.
The discipline. And I say all the time, I'm not even going to reap the benefits of what I'm fighting for. So people should know, and I don't. And I posted something today. It was something that's extremely critical. And the last time I saw it, 6 people liked it. Not 893 people who liked some mumbo jumbo. And somebody else said, I know a great way to get feedback on my designs. Which design do you like better? Serious. Somebody literally did that today.
Yeah.
They have no idea how that was like been a terrible way to get information, because if you don't vet out who the participants are that are giving you input, then it's garbage in, garbage out anyway.
Yep.
But you're in UX, you're supposed to know that. In fact, you should have learned, no matter where you learn UX, you should know that. But people don't know that. So it's amazing. People who say good stuff, we get ignored. We get demonized. We get caricaturized. Our character gets assassinated. And what we're saying is a handful of people who value it.
Yep.
That's the way it works. Whereas these narcissists and people who've been terrible judges of character since they were 4, truth be told,
starts early. Yeah.
You're supposed to learn. Didn't somebody tell you don't talk to strangers? Wasn't that part of how you learn to identify people you need to beware of? I went into, want to hear a crazy story? I went into my mother used to always ask, that was bad. She would ask me to do things she shouldn't ask me to do. At any rate, we go into a party, they're party stores in Detroit, a lot of party stores. We pull up to a party store at night. Don't ask a 10-year-old kid, a 9 or 10-year-old kid, I'm just going to park here. You go inside and get so-and-so. Don't ask a kid to do that.
Is that what your mom did?
Yes. I go into the party store to get what my mother told me, because I was a good kid. And I did what I was told, which a lot of people don't have that testimony. But at any rate, don't send me down that track. I did what I was told. So people punish well-behaved folk. At any rate, I go in the store and there's these 2 old drunk men who, they see me in there, and they decide they go pick on me. And one of them, I don't remember everything that happened. What I remember was the PTSD moment. It's what I remember. And I remember one of those drunk men, after they were accosting me verbally the entire time I was there, one of them was eating some bologna, and he decided to chew it and just spit it in my face.
Jeez.
And I go running outside, and I get in the car, and I don't even think my mother went in there. I think we just drove off. But I had to go through that trauma. But the reason I bring it up is it was part of that learning to beware of people like that, to become sensitive to and spotting people like that. My mother being concerned about what kinds of kids I spent time with, that kind of thing. You learn how to be a judge of character. That stays with me to this day. I began to recognize people like those guys that spit the bologna in my face. The drunk guys that spit in my face.
Well, you probably also realize that it says a lot more about them that they would do something that horrendous and that disgusting to a child, or to anyone, for that matter. That's horrible.
And you learn how to have your head on a swivel.
Yeah.
And you learn how to judge character accurately. You learn what a red flag is. Yeah. And you learn how to behave when you see a red flag, which is all part of critical thinking. Instead, you get people, you're being judgy. You haven't stared death in the face yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want things to change, stare death in the face.
And then tell me. Then come back to me and tell me, right? Yeah. You know what's funny, Professor Darren? Like, I feel that I can't misinterpret you anymore. Like, if I didn't know you, right? But because everything you've been saying is true. Like, you're just honest. You say how it is, and you're not going to sugarcoat it. Nope. And I realized that's actually the good guy. Like, the good guy is not going to have this fake flattery towards you. He's not going to be this. And you've always been so respectful. Like, even when we disagree, right? That's what I think is so cool.
They don't see that.
Well, and they're not, right?
They don't
Because they
want
to see what they want to see.
Because it blows
but
their
if you
game.
get to know you,
yeah.
Well, but you're such a sweet dude. Like, you're really like you fight. Well, you fight.
Don't say that.
Sorry. I shouldn't say that. I take it back. You're the worst.
Take that back. What are you trying to do here? Yeah. I think I get what you're saying, though. I bet people. I've read a couple of posts here and there, Darren, early on, and I thought, like, ooh, boy, some people are going to be a little upset about that, or they're going to misinterpret that. I honestly thought a lot of times people are going to think that he's being like X, Y, and Z, because I know that with the text communication portion of things, whether it's an email, a text, or a post, people have their own baggage, their own garbage that they
Yep.
carry around. And what they hear is a tone that's totally different than what you're projecting.
Yep.
Totally different than when we know you through video, when we know you from person to person interaction or through watching, a presentation. Once they get to know you here like this, like you said, there's no doubt. You know exactly what he's about, and it's all authentic, and it's just literally trying to uphold the standards of our discipline and basically quality. How can you not?
Yeah.
How can you get to quality without being judgmental about what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
You
there
have
you
to
go.
be. It's automatic.
You
There you
have,
go.
yeah, it's part of the
Automatic.
job. Part of the
Yeah.
job.
And I just want people to succeed. I want
Yeah.
people to succeed. I want the discipline to succeed.
Right.
I want the discipline to be perceived the right way.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
want to be able to, how do they call it? When you're living through somebody else?
Vicariously.
Oh,
Yes. I
vicariously.
want to
Yes.
vicariously rejoice
Yeah.
when other people share their stories, their success stories. I want to be like, yes. I mean, can you taste that? This might sound corny, but can you taste how the intrinsic impact of that? I mean, you're a teacher, Lou.
Yeah.
I know you help people, Yaddy. And when you help somebody, and then you go to see them, when you see them out there, and they knock the ball out of the park with something, you're like, yes, and you just
Yeah.
love that, and that's it. There's no money tied to it. There's
No.
nothing. It's just a wow, we did it. You did it.
Yeah.
And then everybody just, and we walk on, we move on to the next situation. And that's really all any of this is about. And people try to make you to be the bad guy because they're trying to preserve themselves a lot of times. I mean,
Yeah.
again, I've been doing counseling for over 40 years. I read people
Yeah.
pray fast. And
Yeah, you do.
it's really sad. And number one, it's really sad to see, like I said earlier, I mentioned that there are subtitles when people say and do something. And it's funny that you see somebody saying something with their behavior that they don't know that you can see. And it's amazing how people will try to, gaslighting is so popular.
Mm.
hmm
And people are so quick to try to make you believe what they're trying to basically impose on you when it's not accurate. You're not going to gaslight a person that excels in critical thinking. It's not going to happen. And the thing is, people lie to me, and I just sit there and I watch, and I'm laughing. I laugh all the time. And I know that I tell people, I have speaking engagements here normally, and I'm known for telling people there's like 9 layers of humor. Lou's a stand-up comedian. There's not,
Right, yeah.
there's not, and I'm always going to forget one, but because there's ha-ha funny, we can just call it that.
Yep.
There's irony, there's sarcasm, there's parody. There's like, and that's just 4, but there's slapstick. There's a whole bunch of different reasons why a person would laugh.
Right.
And it's funny, anytime I laugh and somebody goes, I'm serious. I'm like, well, you have no idea why I'm laughing. I'm laughing because of the irony. Okay. You need to
sometimes you recognize something that's a truth that you can't normally talk about. You recognize and you laugh about that, right? I mean, it's complicated.
And people don't get it.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful thing to be able to laugh like that. I laugh at myself. The self-deprecation.
Yeah.
You have that aspect of it.
Maybe that's why I trust you. It's people that take themselves too seriously all the time that I'm like,
they're
really,
missing
really?
something. Yep.
You can't.
Right?
You can't. We are so goofy. On our best day, on our smartest day, wouldn't you love to have been in the room when Albert Einstein had a blooper?
Oh my God.
When he thought one thing and said another, or when everybody comes into the room, where are my keys? And then you switch hands with your keys to find your keys. Or you ever look?
Yeah, I can't find my glasses.
Yeah. Hey, folks, we're still talking about UX. When people, you're looking for your glasses and they're on your face.
Yeah.
You ever had that moment?
Yeah.
And then when you find them, you just laugh at yourself, and then you go on about your day. So you have to laugh because you realize you're not all that. No matter what you bring to the table, you're not all that. And you can flip and demonstrate something else in a heartbeat. So for that reason, you can't. I can't take myself serious. I'm serious. I'm intense.
Yep.
There's a reason why Relentless is on all my bowling balls. You know, it was on at least 200 of the 260 some odd balls that I bought over the course of a
That is a lot of bowling balls.
That's a lot, yeah.
But there's a reason.
Bowling ball collection.
I want to be my best. So when somebody comes along and tries to, he's just gatekeeping. I'm not trying to keep anybody out of anything. I'm trying to make the discipline right for everybody.
Right.
And you, my friend, are a thief.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more of the if the shoe fits, right? Like I didn't say anything, but if the shoe fits, I mean,
that's it. And if we call you out, all you have to do is get yourself together. I'm not trying to take your check. I'm not trying to put you out to discipline. I'm not trying to do any of those things. I'm trying to encourage everybody to learn how to identify quality and opt in.
Yep.
That's everything I do. That's all I'm trying to do. That's all.
That is the hardest job. It's so hard to do.
It's
people don't want
lonely.
to.
It's lonely.
Yes,
And it is.
Oh no.
And it is thankless to agree.
Yeah, it is.
It is thankless. I'm going to pivot and share one real quick thing though. I found the EQ red flags. Let me run these down for people who never heard.
Oh, nice.
Because usually you hear about EQ. It's 4 or 5 main components, and I have an extra 12, I think it is, and then I have this EQ red flag.
Of course.
That if you see these things, it means that you lack EQ, and just get to work on it. You can work on EQ your entire life.
Yep.
Jealousy. A Pollyanna mindset, always trying to see the best in everybody and everything. No, identify.
My problem.
If the pot is black, it's black. If it quacks, it's a duck. Just don't play the games. Don't try to give somebody. I learned it literally giving somebody the benefit of the doubt and trying to help somebody too much. Being an empath almost cost me my life on multiple occasions, and I am fortunate, and I thank God that I'm still here because I should not be. I literally should be dead. I should be dead.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Was this because of Detroit?
But I used to have a Pollyanna mindset. And I had to learn, no, you're going to earn benefit of the doubt. I'm not passing it out. I'm not passing it out like I'm at a soup kitchen. No, we're not doing that. Detrimental ambition, trying to get ahead at other people's expense. Denial, which is akin to Pollyanna mindset. When you see something, it is exactly what you saw. It's exactly what you saw. Deflection, hearing about something, knowing it applies to you, but then all you do is respond and try to get everybody to look somewhere else. Being incorrigible, just being depraved and anarchical, having animosity towards standards and accountability. That's what it means to be incorrigible. Being trollish. We talked about that recently. Because somebody, man, did you block so-and-so? I did, but yeah, I'm going to give them another chance. And so I went ahead and unblocked somebody, and I don't know how long that's going to last, because the person has a tendency to come behind my post and has a voice and tone of correction. Okay? I could say what you said, but I'm trying to say this first. Why do you, and also, why do you always have to do that? Take the conversation forward, but stop making these like referencing that's trying to depreciate what was already said, because it causes people to shift their focus and not hear the message that we were trying to post in the first place. So that's why. And no, and Darren, it also means this. I already know it means that. Why do people think they're always informing? That kind of stuff. Yeah. That's a trollish act. Ascribing something that somebody didn't say or do. That's a trollish act. Take the conversation forward, add on to it, bring value, but don't create, don't cast aspersions, is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
It feels like a dysfunctional domination technique, right?
It is. A person
Yeah.
is trying. Some people troll once they want to be. That's actually akin to narcissism. They want to be seen as the person bringing the most to the table.
So they have to climb up.
So and they got to step on you. Detrimental ambition. They got to climb on you in the process.
Yep.
They want to make me look bad. Or what they do it to somebody else. They want to make somebody else look bad. And that's trollish. Having an inferiority complex. They can't see somebody else as being accomplished because it makes them feel like they're less than what they are. Hey, everybody brings something to the table. We were talking about Yaddy's drums earlier. I bought some drums. I can't play those things.
Give yourself time. You're a perfectionist.
And if I watch, that's the thing. Is for me, I do what I do when I tried to learn. Remember when I learned Machiavellianism fireworks? Lock yourself in a room.
Yep.
You get to come out when you learn
become an expert.
I could do the same thing. I just haven't done it yet.
I know.
Yeah.
But I know you have time. You've been dealing with your house stuff, right? You're a human.
When I learned how to shoot in manual mode on my camera, we're gonna have. I was the head of a photography group. I was about to become the head of a photography group. I'm going to learn how to shoot manual today. I put that thing on M and went out and did it. And by the time we were done, I shot, I don't know, 100, 200 photos that day. And when all was said and done, I knew how to shoot in manual. And now I'm an award-winning photographer. So it's, and you're not going to get there. You could become an award-winning photographer by shooting in auto, but that's a facade. That's you're being a poser. If you do, you got to shoot in manual or aperture priority or shutter priority or something, but not auto. No auto exposure.
You have to know what's appropriate for getting the right results, right? Yeah,
exactly.
Yep.
So just so many. I'll rattle these other ones off. Incivility, being given to incivil behavior, being manipulative, being imperceptive, having things happen and you have no idea that they're happening. And then I used to say neurotic, and I changed it to hypersensitive because that's what being neurotic is.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm slightly less offended because I'm technically neurotic. But we discussed it last time that you're not talking about people like me. Like I literally have like anxiety, but neurotic. I'm not a jerk.
No.
Well, no, not the way you literally define. It's funny how Megan actually read the definition out loud, and I'm like, okay, technically I'm not, but yet my pills say otherwise, right?
You're not. You would have hung up a long time ago if you were neurotic.
No, but I also feel that no, but you know what? People will get offended. You're right. A lot of the stuff that you say, if they don't know where you're coming from, they might take it as a personal attack. And it's like, no, Darren did not like read your profile and then try to find every weakness you have. It's like, no, this is just universal.
And you know what they should be in on? When Darren is getting on Darren.
Yeah.
Because Darren doesn't take any guff off of Darren.
Yeah.
That's very
and
true.
So if I get on me, who are you?
Yep.
And that's the mindset. I'm going to be hard on me. I'm not going to tolerate. If I was to see any of these traits show up in my person, we're getting to work.
Yeah.
We're rooting that out.
But that's because it's you. You're the type to work on it, not to be like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Which, by the way, I still don't understand why some people are so arrogant about not knowing UX. That's the part, because some of these people that you described right now, I have their heads popping up in my head where I'm like, yeah, it's the money.
They want the
definitely the money.
They want the money. And if you are getting in the way of the money or their perception to having a right to that money, then your name is mud. And that's why people like they fight against people like me. They fight against people like Debbie Levitt. They fight against people like Dee Sadler. They fight against all kinds of people.
Yeah, why do they fight against Dee Sadler?
It's the same thing because she's going to stand up and say the right thing.
She's real.
And then you have other people. They're like the best thing since sliced bread. They don't know. They're really like they're Pollyanna pushers. They're no different than a dope dealer. When you make people feel good in their filth, that's very disrespectful. If a person was sitting in a pile of poop and you told them that they smelled great, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And there are people, somebody like, Darren, what in the world are you talking about? Get the metaphor. I love metaphors. And people are doing exactly that. When people make folks feel comfortable in their mess, you have done them a gross disservice. You've done the discipline a gross disservice. You've done them a gross disservice. You've done everybody a gross disservice. And you can't grow until you find out where you need to prune yourself. I
Yeah.
like that metaphor. Where do you need
I
to
like
clip
that one
something
too.
off? Where do you need to, I need to, I told somebody one day, that's not a good book. You don't wonder, why is that? I said something earlier about that same list of books that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And somebody wrote me privately real quick. What would you, if these books are not good for UX writing, what would you recommend? I said, none. None. And I gave them a link to the podcast. And at the end of the podcast, I said, if you want to be, I'm not telling you that you should get fired tomorrow or anything like that, but you need to start moving your trajectory toward becoming a strong generalist in UX. Expand your knowledge or what you're supposed to be doing because you're in UX. That's the other thing. On the line of what you just said, Yaddy, if you're in UX, you're supposed to be committed to lifelong learning.
Yeah.
So how in the world are
Absolutely.
you in UX and don't want to, you're in UX and you don't want to learn anything. You want to know this one, you want to take advantage of that low bar, come in, bring whatever little skill you thought was marketable within UX, just do that and never learn anything. You're a poser.
Yep.
And that's fine. If you're a poser, but just recognize that you're a poser. And what I mean is that it ain't over for you. Recognize that you are a poser and then grow out of it. Be self-aware.
That's such a good point.
Be self-aware
Yeah,
enough to know
because you're
who
not
you
telling
are.
the people are crap, like you deserve to die. It's like, no, what you're saying is recognize what I'm talking about. If you find that in yourself, maybe it's something you should fix. Maybe.
Yep.
Right?
Like
and if it's not, right, then then figure out why you got offended. A lot of times, once you understand why you get offended by something, you realize it's not the other person. Right?
Yeah, I think one of the best UX skills I've developed has been when I get triggered by something, self-manage what I'm feeling.
Yes.
Step back and think like, well, why am I being triggered by that? Like if I have to remove myself from the situation, do that, but I'm not that. Like lately, I just look at it and I go, all right, well, let me take a note and look at it a little bit later. And just by doing that, I can continue to be leaderly in the conversation I'm in and manage things the right way, but then also figure out the opportunity for me to grow and learn from that triggering event or whatever it is, triggering phrase, or it's usually just from something in the past that I haven't dealt with yet. Yeah.
You folks heard me tell the story before about the time I used to be in those, I forgot what they call them, BBS or whatever it was. We used to have these discussions. You could have
bulletin board groups and stuff.
But it wasn't the bulletin board group. Yeah, that's what BBS is. It was this other thing.
Okay.
You could have these conversations with people on the internet.
Forum? Was it called a forum? No.
No. It wasn't a discussion forum, but it was all like text based. And it was like it was almost like
was it like more like a chat?
It was more like a chat? It was like a chat, but not a chat mechanism.
Oh, okay.
It was similar to a discussion forum, but you would go and find this topic, and then you could have that. Maybe it was BBS. I don't know. But
I don't know.
One day I would talk to authors out there about, and I was a big Corel Draw guy, and I'm just
nice.
Proud Corel Draw user. And one person said, yeah, when you get serious, you can get Photoshop. And yada, yada, yada. I went, when I get serious? I thought I was serious. Changed my life. I placed value on what that person said instead of taking it personally, instead of deflecting.
Kept an open mind. Yep.
Instead of running for cover, I embraced what the person said, and I went right out and I got my first Photoshop license. I got a Photoshop 4.5 SE.
Wow. Nice.
That was and somebody said, Darren, there never was a Creative Suite 4.5. I didn't say Creative Suite. I said Photoshop. This was before that stuff existed, when you had to go out and get individual. Creative Suite came along
I remember.
Years after Photoshop 4.5 SE.
Yep.
Yeah.
Before they bought Macromedia and all that, right? Before that.
Before they bought Aldus.
Aldus, yeah. Because that's what became Illustrator, right? Is that
Aldus,
if I remember
Illustrator, and PageMaker.
Ah.
Oh.
Yep. And
history. I'm learning it right now.
People forgot.
Oh, yeah.
People forgot. Yeah, I remember because I was using ULEAD Photo Impact. Does that sound familiar to anybody?
I don't know that one. No.
ULEAD Photo Impact.
ULEAD Photo Impact.
Corel Webmaster Suite and Microsoft Front Page and Hot Dog.
Oh, yeah.
And NetObjects Fusion and
yeah. Good stuff.
We're old, Darren. We're old. Because I know some of these, and a lot of them I actually did.
Hot Metal
Corel
Pro.
Draw was fun though.
Hot Metal Pro.
Hot Metal Pro. Yeah, Corel Draw was great, wasn't it?
Director. I like Director. Yeah.
A cult following.
Oh my God.
I
used to use Quartz Express.
Yes, Quark Express.
For the paper stuff.
Quark,
Quark Express.
By the way, so that's how I've evolved. Like I'm now a multimodal UX designer / service designer because half of my assets aren't even things. They're like scripts or concepts for an agent to think about, right?
Yep.
Because that's back to your point, Professor Darren, like critical thinking, right? Critical thinking is number one. And if you can't do that, I mean, you can apply critical thinking to anything, right? Yes. You just have to be smart enough. And if you think about like, I'm going to say the mobile also type of philosophy, right? Not AI, but AI also, or possibly, right? Like if you think about it that way, like an ecosystem, then all of a sudden experience design is just experience design. It's not AI design. It's not this. It's not that. That's why I kind of took away AI from my title. I'm like, I don't want to be like, I don't know, put in with all the other AI people, even though I've been doing it for longer, right? Like not like 2 months. But I now don't want to use it because I'm like, no, like that's not, I'm designing for humans. I happen to use AI,
That's why I don't like the name, the title product designer, because it implies that all the human research, the research into humanity and what's going to be best for people has been omitted, and that you're just doing the design. Just make this product and do it with your almost Da Vinci mindset, right? You have to be the master thinker. So I don't know.
And to many of them,
you said it right there, Lou.
Yes.
Like you hit the nail on the head on that one.
To many of them, that's exactly what it is. They have eliminated all the UCD elements. They'll dabble in them. They'll throw a couple of cliches out there so that they can feel like they're representing. But the truth is, UCD, that even goes for design thinking, because design thinking, which was and IDEO admitted this, it was just a way to brand something to make it easier for them to bill clients. It was never a legit venture. It was just something to make something billable. So they put a fancy title on it, called it that. And then they told somebody about it. And then people, because they have a tendency to jump on the new shiny thing without using it, without processing or digesting what they were actually doing. Okay, do you realize that they just remove users from the process and trying to achieve the same thing and forgetting if you design something, it's going to be manifested. But it doesn't mean it was good or right. And so people forgot that. And here we are still fighting the battle against design thinking. And look, Debbie always says it's not design and it's not thinking. And this is true.
All right. We hope you enjoyed part 2 of the Ask Me Anything and Talkin' Shop combo session with my guest, Susi and Yaddy Arroyo. We hope you got something out of it. Don't forget, check out kaizentees.com. If you want to get t-shirts, you want to get mugs, want to get caps, different ways to get the message out about Pure X, different ways to get the message out. UX is not UI. We're going to talk about that in great detail in the not too distant future. But go ahead and check out the site, check out the merch, check out the different swag, and all the purchases do help to produce this show. And thank you, those of you who have supported Kaizen Tees. Thank you very much for that. But that's it. We're not going to delay any further. Let's go ahead and wrap this up today. And next week, again, we will play the conclusion of this 3-part set. We hope you are enjoying it. Until next time, this is Darren Hood, the host of The World of UX, signing off. Happy UXing, everybody.